Hey guys. Oh, my hair's really messy right now. Okay, that's better. Um, so I just feel in my spirit to make a video about shame and unconditional love. And so let's just pray. God, I just pray that you would shower us with your love. And yeah, I just hear God say, like, tell people how you feel. Um, So yesterday I was talking to a friend, and I was expressing like I there's really no chance that can see a future with him because of his age. And I told someone else this too. Because I want my kids to have a father who is around, not die. Um, basically before they're grown and all that. And he's like, "No, I understand that. It's just you have to realize that your soul can want something else, but your head is like, okay." Um, so he's like, "I will always have love for you. It's unconditional. Um, I don't need anything from you. And even I'm gonna cry. Even when I'm on my deathbed, I will like you're one person I will think of." And so I was like, "That's really sweet." And I was just thinking about, like, unconditional love and, like, thinking, like, I don't think I have really experienced unconditional love in my life because with my mother, she's always, like, nitpicking something or, like it's like I feel like I can't really relax around her. It's like, "Oh, hey, like, pick up the socks, like, why are there cups laying around?" Like, there's always something, right? And it's just like I don't feel restful around my mother, you know? There's always something I have to fix and and I feel like that comes from not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting intimacy, fearing intimacy so that instead of being vulnerable, we put up a guard, we put up a wall to kind of like push people away. And yesterday, I told someone that I told him the truth. And I know, like, some of you'll be like, "What the heck?" But I really felt in my heart to tell him that God was just, like, telling the truth, that his breath kinda smelled, and I had met with this person, like, once, and I turned him down because, I felt like he was too young for me, and also and when I told him, he got really upset and said that I didn't have tactfulness and that I was not discerning and that you know everything I hear from God or that I hear isn't from God. And I was like, yeah, but I felt actually fear in my heart. So I knew that God was telling me, like, speak it, speak the truth, and then that fear will be released. But what happens is I noticed that, especially guys, like, they get so pissed off because I tell the truth. They get offended or they misunderstand and they stop talking to me, even as a friend, right? I recently had a friend block me, a girlfriend of mine, because her boyfriend didn't like me because I was honest. What I said, and I don't know if this is the whole story because they blocked me, so I can't converse with them about it. But what I said at lunch was, I'm waiting till marriage to have sex, but I will never do anal sex. And I said that at lunch when we're eating, which is probably not that appropriate, but who cares? Because I'm just being myself. And he apparently was uncomfortable and told her that like I'm Christian, I shouldn't talk about stuff like that. even though he's not even like a freaking virgin, like he's not waiting, like he's had experience. So I'm like, why would you judge me for saying that when you're not even like waiting, or like, I don't know what it was. I mean, it triggered him. Maybe he had, I don't know. The point is, he ended up blocking me, and my friend blocked me too. And I've tried to call her a few times, and it's just like, so last night I had a dream where I had this like white shirt on, right? But my shirt was kind of show like pulled up, and my underwear was showing, and I had like a pad, like I had my period. And in the dream, like it was a little bit bloody, and then so I was like, why is no one telling me this, right? So I go in the bathroom, and there's like blood on my shirt, and I'm like, what the heck? But the blood is like, it's like on the white shirt, and it's almost like burning off the white shirt. And so I remove one of the pads in the dream, and and then I go to Disneyland, and I go on this like slide that goes across America, and I'm with my cousin, right? And I feel like the dream has to do with, and in the dream, like I go in the bathroom, and then I'm like, oh, like I'm ashamed, and I feel like there's something wrong with me. And in the dream, I'm um like I feel this pain. I'm like, oh, like how come it's like others are getting married and I'm not, and is there something wrong with me? Um so that's the dream. But in real life, when I told this guy, like, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but like your breath kind of smells. I'm just telling you the truth. He wrote me on text like, um, you should just be still and trust that God will bring your husband instead of looking for it. And I'm like, dude, you found me. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And there's nothing wrong with looking for your husband, because just as you look for a house, you look for a car, um, it's okay to have a desire and to search and to look after what it is that you want. And I feel like there's so much shame in our society with like wanting love. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting love, like to be loved unconditionally. There's such a weird shame, and there's such a weird facade, and there's so much pride when it comes to like just admitting like I want to feel loved. And so, like, I felt like in that dream it was like, oh, this shame of like, okay, this guy has said this to me because he feels rejected. Like, that's not cool. I've honestly, gosh, venting moment. Like, I'm so done with men like feeling rejected and then attacking me verbally because like they feel rejected. Like, that is not okay. Like, I feel like you can be mature about it and be like, "Hey, I feel really hurt that like I'm not the one for you, but like don't attack me verbally and make me to feel less than because you need to do something about it." It's like, "No, your own wife is coming. Your wife is coming too." So like, I'm not your wife. I am doing you a service by not standing in the way. It is not rejection. And I feel like it pisses me off when I tell the truth, and then of course I get hit on the head for it. It's like, it just pisses me off so much. So yesterday when my friend was like, I will always have love for you, like it's unconditional, I don't need anything from you. I just started tearing up because I realized like honestly, I've been sleeping pretty late, like 2 a.m., but yesterday I just was tired and I slept around 12. And what I realized was like my heart felt restless because I didn't feel that compassion or unconditional love. And the weird thing is, I'll tell you this, someone had a dream about me. He basically accused me of something and stopped replying to my text. And he had a dream about me because God knows what I'm going through. And God knows when people don't treat me right. Oh yeah, I will save it. I also have a YouTube channel, so it's live on YouTube. So yeah, I save it. And so like God knows and God sees everything. So like if you have been hurt by people and you've tried your best to reach out to them and forgive them, um and like you've told them how you feel, God, it's funny how God will just like God actually sent a dream to my friend and he texted back and he's like, "Hey, like I had a dream about you." And then I was like, "Well, yeah, I feel hurt that you never replied to my text and that you were accusing me of stuff." I even had a friend say like "F you," blah blah, and I never ever did anything wrong to him purposely, you know? But, you know, people, when they have a spirit of rejection, what they do is they see everything as offensive. They see everything as, oh, that person's trying to hurt me. It's like, no, I'm not trying to hurt you. Like, how do you not understand my heart? So the whole thing, the whole friendship ended with F you, like, leave me alone. Okay, cool. 2, 3 months later, he comes back and tries to apologize. And I'm like, and like, of course, I'm like, I forgive you, but like, can we talk about it on the phone? But like, no, you know what I mean? It's like, um, I deal with a lot of people that are just like, look, I'm trying my best to be honest and frank and forthright, and but my heart doesn't have that much of a capacity, you know. Like God has to give me that grace, you know. And people should honor your heart. Like people should respect you, people should love you and not ignore you, you know? Like, we live in a society where, like, people don't talk anymore, like, people just text, and we live in a society where, like, it's, like, on dating apps, like, people will just be like, "Hey, I wanna have some fun." It's like, "Do you not wanna get to know me? Like, what the heck? Do you not have a soul? You don't have a heart? Like, what's going on here?" You know? And, yeah, like anyway, so that's my little rant. So after my friend was like, "I always have love for you. You know, I don't need anything from you. It's unconditional love." I was like it really touched my heart. And it touched my heart because like recently I have been just like telling the truth to people, and the more I tell it, the more people get pissed off. And um I can tell, like, especially if I'm saying no to a guy and saying, like, "Hey, I'm not interested in you like that. I just see you as a friend." They lash out, okay? Like, they lash out, like and I'm just like, "Oh, great. Like, I don't wanna do this anymore." Like, you know, I should just ghost them like most people do, you know, instead of, like, telling them the truth. That's why people don't like to tell the truth because people lash out when they feel rejected. And here I am telling the truth and I get attacked verbally, you know? Um, yeah. I mean, I even like asked some people about like, would you tell someone if their breath kind of smelled? And yeah, most people I talk to, they're like, yeah, I would tell him. I would tell her, you know, like I was talking to an Uber driver about this, and the Uber driver said that, and he was also Christian. He said that he dated someone who's super hot, like a model, but her breath smelled like she ate a dead cat. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I didn't know this was a thing, you know? that this was something that a lot of people struggle with. Then I talked to another friend and she said that her boyfriend like falls asleep without brushing her teeth. I also know a couple that got divorced because he doesn't brush his teeth at night before going to sleep. So, um, like, it's actually a real thing. Like, people get divorced over, you know, dental hygiene. Like, it's actually a thing. And I thought it was such a, dumb thing to talk about. But for God to tell me, like, hey, tell him the truth, it's like, why would God care about that? It's like, oh, God does care about that because why? People have gone divorced over dental hygiene, or things like for me, like I really, it bugs me when people have like dirt under their nails and there's like and it's like long nails and you got dirt under. I'm like, oh my God, I'll still love you from afar probably, but it just grosses me out. But anyway, so how do you tell these things to people? Well, as I talked to, for example, a Target employee about it, he was like, well, yeah, like I would just be like, hey man, you kind of smell, like, can you put on deodorant or something? Like just to help them out, And I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, it's like a thing to just tell people the truth, like, hey, there's something stuck in your teeth. Um, and like I talked to my mom about it and she's like, you shouldn't tell him because um like he might be hurt, and like I remember my ex would tell me like, oh, like in the morning, like, oh, you should go brush your teeth. I'm like offended, right? I'm like, oh, come on. But it's like, yeah, morning breath, right? Like a lot of us have that, right? So the point is, I think that a lot of us get offended pretty easily. And because we're so used to being attacked or just like not loved for who we are. But if someone really loves you, like they're not saying that to attack you, they're saying that to love you. And I'm still learning that, right? Anyway, so the point is, my friend yesterday is like, I always have love for you. And it just really touched my heart because um, for some person to just express that love, even though it's platonic, even though it may not lead anywhere, it's it was like, oh wow, I've never experienced that for my own father, really. And so yesterday I had another dream where there was this little girl and I was driving and this girl like came up to me and she had a check, but it said $0 and I was like, why isn't she paying? She doesn't have money. And so in the dream, like people were like taking her along places and people were paying like food, like buying food for her and things like that. And then so in another dream, this little girl, which I think represents me, um, went into the bathtub and she was like, oh, like there's like, I don't know why she said this. She's like, there's like Gucci stuff in this bathroom. I looked and there was two tubs full of blue and she put someone's like allergy pill into the pool and I was like, "Oh no, that's really expensive." Like that's someone's allergy pill. And she basically messed up and I was like, "You shouldn't have done that." And I think from this dream, it was basically God saying like it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to like essentially have fun and to not be afraid to make mistakes. I think because recently I just feel like people have been pissed towards me or like they don't like who I am or like um they're mad at me for telling them the truth. Um and it's hard because I just I've lost friends. Like even 4 months ago I lost a friend because I told her what God told me. It was like, he's not your husband. I told her this and she thought I was judging her. And I'm like, "I'm not judging you, dude. Like, not at all. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you what I hear, and you have to go through your process. You have to learn from this relationship, but, like, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you the truth." And that was hard because she stopped talking to me because of that, you know? Um, and whether there's more to that, like, well, I don't know that because when someone stops talking to you, it's a line of communication that's basically completely ended. So it's not like you can talk about it because they don't want to talk, right? Um, it takes maturity, and I'm not saying that I have it all the time because sometimes I don't. And in the past, like I didn't want to talk about stuff either. But now like I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, let's talk. Let's, I think we get so offended sometimes that we just stop all lines of communication. And that's why, we lose friends. And for me, it's like the other side. Like I'm willing to talk things out. Like, let's go. Let's be emotional, let's cry, whatever we need to. But people just kind of like, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm gonna block you, you know? So at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to chase someone, like, but there is healing to be found when someone is mature enough to say, hey, I want to talk things out and I don't want to just like disappear from your life, you know? So, anyways, that's it. Um, just know that like unconditional love is about forgiveness. It's about um forgiving even when it's hard and then moving forward, right? But I'm not talking about staying in toxic relationships. Um that is not that is not unconditional love because you're not loving yourself. So I just encourage you, tell the truth in love and know that you are unconditionally loved by God and that God loves you very much. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna wave. I don't even know if these people are still on, but oh well. Um, so have you been hurt by people blocking you or ghosting you? Have you been hurt by telling the truth, like to people? Have people persecuted you for telling them the truth? Um, and like what happened? So if you like to share, please comment or message me, and I would love to hear from you. Um, you can also email me at rebekkalien@gmail.com. God bless, and make sure to subscribe to my blog, rebekkalien.com. And what else? Yeah. If you like to make a donation to this ministry, you could do so on my website. It's rebekkalien.com. God bless. Bye. Oh my gosh! I did not realize I'm still streaming, uh, and you're still watching. I don't know who's watching. I don't think I did anything weird, right? Okay. Alright, God bless. Bye.